So for question 5, that is also a problematic question. If you look the first glance, you should be able to tell that that's a direct inverse. So apparently a lot of you find this topic difficult. So is there a standard method to this topic? Yeah, this topic is also quite standard. But there's a lot of chance you make careless mistake, and there's a lot of chance you couldn't execute the standard method. Okay, so let's explore this. So one big mistake, okay, let's talk about 5A, will be when you didn't even read. So it is an inverse, and there is a square of x. So some people never read the word square. Some people also never read the word inverse. Okay, so you should read carefully first. Then you set up the inverse relationship. You can set up like this, or you can set up like this. So where k is a constant. So you should be using the values to find your k. So that's quite easy, unless you are careless. So the 6 centimeter is the x, because x is the distance between them. So you must know that x is 6 and the force is 72. So you must be able to put it into the equation to find k. So either way you will be, so this one you got to cross multiply. So either way you will get the same value of k. And remember to answer the question. Some really never read question. Ask you to for a formula, you never answer the question. So that is the formula. And subsequently, you're supposed to use a formula for the second part. So the second part, the manic are 3 centimeter apart. So these 3 represent x. So that's quite easy. You just have to put into the formula. You're supposed to find the force when x is 3. Then here comes the other way around. The other way around. Now the force is 162. Your job is to find x. So again, there's also no trick. You just put in your f into your formula. But apparently there are some of you who got stuck because you didn't know what to do. So it doesn't cross your mind to cross multiply. And you can divide both sides by 162. I'll be getting a 16. Then I will take square root. So I should get a positive square root or a negative square root. So in this case, I will reject the negative value because x represents the distance. So x cannot be negative. So you got to reject accordingly. So question 5A shouldn't be an issue unless you got careless, unless you got technical issue. That means technical, like you couldn't cross multiply. You never think of cross multiply. Or for 5A, you never read the square. Or you misread the square as a square root. So these are the common mistakes. Otherwise, 5A is pretty okay, I will say. So let's go to 5B. 5B is also quite standard. So you should, I hope by now you realize that how come this kind of question keep repeating? So for part B, there's a direct proportion, and that is a square root. So it's actually like this. So this is like 1x. So we can change a 1x. So when 1x is double up, it can become 2x. So when you change a percentage, the 1x will change. So right now, okay, x is going to decrease by 75%. That means from 1x, okay, we will decrease 75%. So we're going to decrease this amount. From 1x, I'm going to take away this amount. So from 1x, I'm going to decrease this amount. My new x will be 1x minus 0.75x. And when this is my new x, I will get my new y. So instead of square root 1x, I will square root this. So punch calculator, you will get a 0.5k root x. So you should all flow with some logic. So you think very logical. So the whole idea is, are you logical in your thinking or not? Or do you let your mind get stray or distracted? So now I will need the percentage decrease. So I need to check what is the decrease in y first. So let me check for the decrease in y. So this is my original y. So this is my new y. So from k root x, I take away this. It's like 1k root x minus 0.5k root x. So I will get 0.5k root x. So there is a decrease in the amount of y. So the percentage decrease. So you take whatever the decrease, it has decreased by so much. You divide by the original and you multiply by 100. There is a 50% decrease when you actually decrease the x by only 75%. So you have to have a logical flow. Okay, think logically, or else, right, you'll find yourself getting stuck. And you are going to see this kind of question until Sec 4. I'm sure you don't want to struggle like next year, Sec 4, you still struggle with this. Then you've got to be asking yourself, it's a very simple thing. Why do you take 3 years to learn this? You don't need. So you make it a point, learn it now and for all. So that is for question 5.